Okay, so with deadlifts, most important thing that I want everyone to focus on is controlling your low back. And what I mean by that is I do not want you to feel pain in your low back when you do any version of a deadlift. To avoid the pain, we want to make sure your core is strong, so you're focusing on tightening through the core. And what that means is basically you take your ribs and your belly button and you pull them together and you squeeze your glutes. So if this is together and this is squeezed, you've now created a tight core. If you can deadlift with that as tight as you can, then you're protecting your back in your deadlifts. So always, always, always start your deadlift with a tight core, and if you feel pain in your back, we want you to stop and just move to a different exercise. We're gonna start with a single leg deadlift. Is that cool?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Be extra cautious with your back with this one. Some people love it. I love it. It's one of my favorites, but I also feel it in my back if I'm not very cautious with my core and keeping everything tight. So start with a tight core. Caitlin's gonna grab a weight.
I forget, this one or this one?
Same hand.
Same hand.
Yep.
Okay.
Same arm, same leg. She's gonna stand up. Now she's gonna try to keep her left leg off the floor as much as possible. She's gonna hinge from the hips. And then if she has a great range of motion, good flexibility, no back pain, she can actually touch that weight to the floor. Most people cannot, so I typically tell people if you can just get that weight past your knee, then you're still getting the stimulus of the exercise. Where you should be feeling this is in the hamstring and glute of the working leg. So as Caitlin stands up, she should feel this in her hamstring and her glute muscle, not her low back. But the standing up motion is where you feel the exercise. You feel that?
Yep.
Core nice and tight with every single rep. This also helps with balance. If balance is an issue of yours, this is a great exercise because you have to use your core to control your balance. If it's hard to do this one, just place a hand on a wall and that's gonna help you with your balance. Or if you don't have a wall nearby, you could place a toe back, and just having that toe just gently touch the floor behind you is also gonna help you with your balance.
The one thing to remember is we don't want our hips to be open when we're going down. So trying to help that, point the toe down. So instead of deadlifting like this with your hips open, turn your body so it's a hinge with your toe pointed down.
Good cue.
Thanks.
We're gonna move from the single leg deadlift to the Romanian deadlift. So Caitlin's gonna go ahead and start from the top with this one. She's gonna grab her weights. She's gonna stand up nice and tall. You're gonna keep your legs pretty straight for this. You can have a slight bend in the knee, but you wanna think of this as a hip hinge where you slide the weights down your legs about mid-shin and then back up. So you keep your legs pretty straight, just a slight bend in the knees as you go past the knees. Very similar to a straight leg deadlift, just a slight bend in that knee. Do you want to turn to the side so you can see it? Nice, nice, nice. Some people have the mobility to go all the way to the floor. If you can, that's awesome. I would not worry about it unless it feels great. For most people, just hitting mid-shin is perfect. A traditional deadlift is typically done a lot heavier and there's much more knee bend. You would start this lift from the floor. Caitlin is going to lift her chest a little bit. There you go. See how her knees are bent? She's not at 90, that's too low, about maybe 45. And then she's going to use her hamstrings to stand up while pulling her shoulder blades back. Good. And then she's gonna go right back down the same way. Nice, I'm gonna turn to the side. You can even drop your hips a little bit. There you go. And notice her hips and shoulders should rise together. Boom. She's not lifting her butt and then her shoulders. She's not lifting her shoulders and then her butt. Everything comes up together. If your weights are really heavy and your back does not bother you, this is a great deadlift to do.
What did I thought of something. Oh, think with this one, like pushing through your feet or like standing through your feet. Obviously you're standing on your feet.
No, that's like, a great cue.
Yeah, pressing into your feet as you stand.
And using the whole foot too, that's really important. Sometimes people think about like putting the weight in their heels or driving through your toes. Use your whole foot. Think of your foot in every exercise you do as kind of like a tripod. You have a point and on your heel. Drive your feet down and that's gonna help your body come up. Very important cue.